guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen. Off screen, this is Samuel. And today we are watching Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 6. Yes. It is part 2 of the previous episode, which I had no idea was a two-parter until it ended and was like to be continued. So the last episode was really good. We followed the sort of happenings on the Demetrius with Kara and Hilo and what's her name? Xerxes or something like that. You know who I'm talking about? She's the one that was on she was a demon on that one episode of Supernatural. Which I mention every single time that she's on this. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about, hopefully, maybe. And we sort of had a little bit of a mutiny on board, which is interesting. You guys have let me know on Patreon that a lot of the people on board were not volunteers. So that definitely makes a little bit more sense, because if I didn't volunteer for this mission and I don't trust you anyway, I'm sure as hell not going to, what I think, just sacrifice my life for you for like what just seems certain death, right? For no reason. So totally understand their hesitance and their, little mutiny now. I still think that narratively we kind of have to follow Kara because it just makes the most sense for her story, and she is a major character, even more so now that we know about her destiny and the possibility that she's one of the final 5, or even just like some sort of prophet or some sort of major figure in getting them from point A to point B, right? So yeah, we had that. We also had Gaius and Tyrell having a sort of come to Jesus, for lack of, not come to Jesus, that's not, well, interestingly, for Tyrell it kind of maybe is, but they had like a coming together moment, and they held hands, and Gaius apologized, which is not something that he usually does, and by all accounts it was sincere. I like Gaius, but I sort of always, when it benefits him, question the depth of his sincerity for, certain things and moments. So I sort of question it a little bit. Yeah. But I'm excited to see where we're going from here. I need to stop rambling because this is a very long intro. I do just want to quickly say the cats are out and about today, running all around. It's too cold for them to go on the porch and hang out, which usually if we open the porch for them, they sort of just love to lay in the sun out there, but too cold, too cloudy. They are running around in here. So if they, cause chaos, there's nothing I can do. That's cats. Anyway, sorry, let's get into the show.
You should just airlock your Cylon ass.
I am not a Cylon.
Uh-oh. Anders? You're doing a lot, hun. That was nasty. Oh, no, stop touching it. This? No, I don't want to hear the noises. I don't, what is that? What the fuck is that? Why did they just pour sand into it? I don't know what's happening.
I never should have ordered Demetrius to jump to the base ship. Too many lives to risk on a gut instinct.
She's gonna go.
So Demetrius goes back to the fleet.
Missing a raptor.
She's gonna go.
I'm gonna take Leoben back to the base ship, see if his story checks out.
You insane? The two of you alone.
She's not going alone. I'm going with her.
This is crazy, but I need you. What? I need someone that speaks their language. If this is a trap,
she's taking Athena?
I want to know about it.
Athena?
Hell yeah, let the Cylon go.
It's okay.
That's how I feel about you. Sorry.
I'll do it.
I like you, but also, like, don't hate on Athena.
We'll be waiting here till the clock runs out.
Oh gosh, okay. Y'all need to, like, hurry the fuck up then. Y'all need to, like, move on. Like, go, go, go. Also, like, Anders, you cannot just shoot people, okay? Like, I was really worried he was going to just kill him, though, so at least he shot him in the leg, but, like, I don't know.
I'm just gonna need you to keep a keen eye on every single thing that comes across this desk.
Appreciate your confidence, Madam President.
Thank you.
That could,
Let's go.
that could be a little bit dangerous.
Look, I don't give a frack what the rest of them think. You've been kicking ass since day one.
Okay.
You say you can find Earth. I want to be there when you do.
Okay. So, some of them are volunteers, clearly.
This is the place. I can hear it.
The unstruck music vibrates in all of us. Few can hear it. Kara's one of you.
Okay. Oh, there was beeping. There's beeping.
Incoming right too high! Break, break, break!
Get the frack away from me.
Oh, it's her.
You showed us that we don't have to be slaves to our programming. We wanted the same thing, but it turned out to be a disaster.
I'm proud of
The Sixes
her.
have made one mistake after another. They have to be stopped before they get the rest of us killed.
You don't cut and run when things get ugly. Otherwise, you'll never have anything. No love, no family.
No life to call your own. Now you guys can either help me or get the hell out of my way.
I like that they're, like, wearing different outfits.
And I'm sure it isn't helping listening to Gaius Baltar.
No, don't touch that. The frack do you think you are?
Accept him into your heart.
Leave me alone!
It is all
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that you have to
God doesn't care how many good deeds we've done.
do that.
Like it or not, we have to work with the colonials. That means Kara sees the hybrid.
Or you can kiss your asses goodbye.
It's as if we have no choice.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Take me to this hybrid. Anders, you're on me.
Might be better if I stay here. I know more about the Raptor system than they do.
He just wants to touch it, doesn't he?
You killed me.
Oh.
Watched me drown, kicking and thrashing like I was some kind of an insect.
Happy to put you down again.
6. Did she kill her?
You killed her.
Fucking kill her! You want me to forget about Beverly? You want me to forget about New Caprica? No fucking way! She just killed Beverly!
Put the gun down.
They killed one of us and you're just ready to let it slide?
She's right. We can't let this go, Kara.
God damn it!
No resurrection ship. You understand? She's just as dead as your friend. Is that enough human justice for you? Blood for blood?
We could have just not killed anybody.
It's gonna get a lot worse. Be prepared for that.
Oh, she's trying to help her. Oh. Oh, is her blood gonna do something? Her blood is gonna do something.
Thus will it come to pass. The dying leader will know the truth of the Opera House. The missing 3 will give you the 5. who have come from the home of the 13th.
You are the harbinger of death, Gareth Wraith. You will lead them all to their end.
The miss.
End of line.
I need to go back and listen to that again at the end of this episode.
At the moment she died, there was no gleaming fields of Elysium stretched out before her. There was this dark, black abyss.
I mean, you don't know that, to be fair. You weren't.
She was terrified. She was so scared.
I mean, as she was dying, not like after.
You...
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Dark Huddle!
What we can do for her now is try to make her comfortable.
Forgive me.
Everything's just sad. Hold her hand. Athena. Anders will do it.
It's okay.
She can recognize him.
Yeah.
Let's go. Demetrius is waiting for us.
Okay.
Execute jump in 5, 4, 3.
Now here. Oh, there they are. There they are. There they are.
Demetrius, Athena. Demetrius, Athena.
I'm so worried.
God, it's good to hear your voice.
Copy that, Hilo. The base ship is ours. Mission accomplished.
And let's go home.
How are they gonna feel about a base ship jumping into the fucking thing though?
Will I ever see those kids again?
Yep. Pretty soon, actually.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Kiss. Kiss. I'm just saying you could kiss if you want. If you wanted to.
What made you change?
He believed in you.
You made me believe.
I don't know why that got me more than anything else. Okay, so let's talk about the quote first. I just went back and rewatched it, so I have the exact quote, which was, "Thus will it come to pass. A dying leader will know the truth of the opera house." So I'm going to take it piece by piece. The dying leader is Rosalind. She's going to know the truth of the opera house, which is the dreams that she's been dreaming about the opera house and the 6. I think there was a 6 and Athena, or an 8, and Hera. Yeah. So she's been having those dreams about the opera house, and so I'm assuming that this means that she's finally gonna learn what the opera house means and how it's relevant to her and maybe humanity and just everything. So that I'm pretty sure. The missing 3 will give you the 5 who have come from the home of the 13th. So they kind of already explained in the episode that the missing 3 is the Deanna. They think she'll tell us the 5, who are the 5 Cylons, who I guess the 5 came from Earth so they can remember Earth and then take them back to Earth. Like right now we know that they don't currently remember Earth. So we know that 4 of the 5 are Tyrell, Ty, Anders, and Tori. And the 5th is unknown. Now, I have speculated that it's Kara, but could be way off. However, it's very exciting that at some point, presumably in the near future, we will be able to definitively say this. Now, will Tyrell, Ty, Anders, and Tori try to stop this from happening? Will Anders in particular try to stop this from happening? Also, will Anders get in trouble for shooting Gaeta in the leg and possibly causing him his leg? Like, I don't know, because he did it during a mutiny. So is Adama gonna say the mutiny is worse, or is he gonna say shooting Gaeta in the leg is worse? Like, we'll just have to figure that out. And then, of course, the last of the quote was, "You are the harbinger of death, Kara Thrace. You will lead them all to their end." Now, something that's interesting about this is, let me just make sure that, I think it just means bringer, but let's just make sure I know what harbinger means. A person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. Yeah. So now it says you will lead them all to their end. Now, I think that this is a lot more open to interpretation than what was in the Razor film, because that was explicitly saying humanity. Now, there's definitely the implication that this could mean humanity, but you will lead them all to their end could just mean, like, the fleet, because we know there's still humans on Earth, presumably. Could also mean the Cylons, like, especially if we look, or if it is proven that Kara is one of the final 5, then you will lead them all to their end of line. Could mean that she's going to lead all of the Cylons to their end. Could it not? I definitely think that there's more room, like I said, for interpretation with this quote than the quote of the Razor. Now, I assume that the Razor film is fully canonical. You guys can tell me if that's incorrect or not. But, like, here's what I want to know. And this is usually I don't want you guys to answer, but I do want this answer. So, is the Razor film fully canonical? One, I mean, I know it's fully canonical, but is it required viewing for Battlestar Galactica? Because if it's, like, optional and you don't have to watch it, then the quote doesn't have to be taken fully seriously, right? I'm hoping I'm explaining this well, because the quote in the Razor film says, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it directly references that Kara is the harbinger of death of humanity. This just says you will lead them all to their death, which, sure, of course, like, makes you think of humanity, but is a little bit more ambiguous, I feel. Maybe I'm just reaching. I don't know. Anyway, just let me know. Without spoiling anything, don't tell me, like, if the humanity, like, if I'm right or not about the quote. Because, like, I do ultimately think that it's probably talking about humanity. But I do think that there's, like I just said, just more room for interpretation. So, let me know about the Razor film, and if the people who do Battlestar, like, actually very much think that you have to watch it during the course of the show. Or not. Because, like, I'm an X-Files fan, right? And they're, like, the X-Files movie, like, Fight the Future, right? Was it Fight the Future? Is that the name of it? Oh, gosh. Now I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure. I have it on DVD. Like, I'm pretty sure that while that is canonical, it doesn't actually have to be watched. I could be wrong about that as well. I mean, again, I watched it, but that's just what I'm thinking. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. To continue talking about this, or to go back to this episode, I felt like this was actually a really emotional episode, and I wasn't expecting it to hit me as hard as it did. First off, fuck cancer, as always and forever. Cancer is fucking disgusting, and nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to watch someone they love go through that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Always and forever, fuck cancer. But I hate seeing Rosalind going through this. I hated to see that lady. I do think that faith is something that is very comforting in times that you're watching, you know, somebody go through that, or maybe you're going through it yourself. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I pray that I can never speak to that, you know. But I do know that faith is something that can be very healing for people who are going through tough times. And I think that I'm glad that Rosalind, you know, she talked to her about her mom and everything, but I'm glad that she sort of ultimately didn't try to talk that lady out of it or take it away from her or anything, because I do think that whatever makes people feel better about a really shitty situation, I think is okay, you know? Now, I've talked about this before. I personally do have faith, and I do think that it does help. Now, I think that in situations where really shitty things happen, it's also very common to question your faith and to get angry and to not know, like, or understand what God's purpose was and things. And I think that in this particular case, we kind of had both, right? Because Rosalind was talking about watching her mother go through the same thing that she's going through now, really. And she was talking about how hard it was to watch her go through that, and her fear kind of took over. And I'm trying to, like, talk about it, but I'm not doing a very good job. I'm sorry, you guys. I think it's a really hard topic to talk about. I'm a very emotional person. So I liked the way that they framed it in this episode, that the truth is, for most of us, and I don't know how Battlestar is going to play this, because there have been moments where it's not just a question of faith, that there is actual kind of definitive proof that the things that people are believing in are actually causing events to come to fruition. So in our world, it's a lot more ambiguous. You know, you just have to try to have faith, and or not, you know, regardless, but you don't really get a definitive answer. But that's not really the point of belief, right? You know, you have faith and you believe in things that aren't tangible and that you can't touch and see and prove all the time. But I think that, again, it's interesting because in Battlestar, it's often different. However, I really liked this idea of, I liked the way that they portrayed Rosalind sort of coming around in this episode. This lady believes that she will meet her loved ones again in the afterlife, thanks to what Gaius is preaching. And so Rosalind, you know, doesn't believe that, because she believes in the gods like Zeus and, you know, Aphrodite and all these other gods, right? Or she believes that the gods are, the stories of the gods are like metaphors and sort of like parables and examples of how to live your life. And this lady believes what Gaius is saying, because I think that it helps her find comfort and X, Y, and Z. Now, it's really interesting to sort of watch Rosalind in this episode come around to the idea of that. I'm not sure where it's going to go or how much she's going to lean into that belief, but it was just interesting to watch her sort of fight it and then come around to it. Not because I care one way or the other what she believes, or like, you know, but just because I think it's interesting to watch her. I think that if and probably when, because it's part of the story, she dies, it's going to be very hard for me, you guys, because I really like her character and we've been with her for so long. Like, even watching that scene with her and Adama at the end when he's saying that, you know, to him Earth was just this pipe dream that wasn't really ever going to come to fruition, but he was just using it as a way to help the people of the fleet continue to believe in something. And then she made him believe in it, you know? Like, it got me. It's getting me again. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked Rosalind in this episode, and I liked her dynamic with Emily, and I liked their conversations and this sort of idea of faith and what it means, because I think that that sort of question extends to other characters in the show and other situations, right? Like, Adama had faith in Rosalind that proved correct, and she kind of changed his whole outlook on everything. Adama has faith in Kara. Kara has faith in herself and in humanity. And, like, the Sixes have faith in the Eights, but the Eights don't have faith in the Sixes, but then they eventually do. And, like, there's just a lot of different ways in which faith is being tested in this episode and being either exhibited or coming to fruition, right? So it was kind of a cool thing that they weaved that into every sort of aspect. And yeah, like, now Kara, after this quote from the hybrid, is probably struggling with a crisis of faith in herself, because they said she was the harbinger of death and that she would lead them to the end. And at least Kara now knows that. So does that mean that we're going to get her telling them about Earth, maybe finding Earth, and then saying, hey, the hybrid said this, I don't know if we should actually go? I don't know. Although, could Kara knowing this cause her to change her course of action in a way that ultimately makes this true? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because therefore she thinks, if I lead humanity to Earth, then humanity ends, so I won't lead them to Earth. And then by not leading them to Earth, that's actually what causes humanity to end. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I'm also interested in what's going to happen with Gaeta, because it's very possible, very, very, very possible that he will lose his leg, because he went without that being treated for a very, very long time. And infection can easily spread in that sort of situation. And I don't know what they put on there, but I don't know that it was enough. So I'm interested in how this is going to impact his character and where he's going to go from here. Now, full disclosure, Gaeta is not my favorite character. But I am still interested to see how this plays out for him and how it affects him, and then how that in turn affects the rest of the characters that we care about, right? I'm also really curious as to just how Anders, where his character is going, and how all of this is changing him, and the fact that he knows he's a Cylon, right? So I don't know. We've seen, like, he started showing empathy towards the 8 that was dying. He reached out. He told her it was going to be okay. And he also very much lashed out at the 6 who killed that lady whose name I forget. So I think that he's very much struggling with the truth of who he is. He also was, like, reaching towards the thing to try to, like, communicate, touch it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of concrete things to say. I know that Like, my brain is very much buffering this entire post episode, so I'm very sorry for you who had to listen to the rambles. But, well, yeah, I mean, you didn't have to. I guess you could have just clicked off, and if you did, like, don't blame you. But, yeah, I'm just curious as to where his character is going from here, as well as, like, Tori and Ty and Tyrell, and if we wake up Deanna, what she's gonna say. Will we finally get the reveal? How much longer are they going to drag this out? Because I need to know if Kara is one of the final 5, or if I'm just wrong. And if not her, then who? And if it's not her, it's probably somebody obvious that I just completely eliminated because I was so convinced that it was her. Alright guys, I think that's all that I really have to say. Thank you so much for watching if you did. And if you want, you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube. You can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica. That is over on Patreon as well. That is including the mini-series, the Resistance webisodes, and the Razor film. Yeah, I apologize for how much my brain buffered in this post episode. I did not get to say the things that I wanted to say in the concise and clear manner that I wanted to say them, but hopefully you still understood what I was attempting to say. I'm not sure. You know, some days are better than other days. This thing did not want to work today. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling finally. I hope to see you guys next time for more Battlestar Galactica. Until then, bye guys.